offside goal against you, which I think was clear. And then during the first half as well, the officials lose their communication, which I also thought was very strange. How do you lose your communication 15 minutes into the game? Because that affects the decisions you make sometimes, because you've got no communication with the fourth official or your teammates on the side, because besides the first half, we had one or two opportunities. I thought that the one was where Ranga's supposed to leave the ball, knowing that Khune is behind him, and if he leaves that ball, Khune is one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and I'm sure he scores a goal. But in saying that as well, the offside goal, I speak to the fourth official and she can't do anything. She says our mics are not working, so we don't worry about that. But coming into the second half, I think we have a penalty shout, which is very, very, very open, and obviously the second red card for Mubara, the second yellow card for Mubara, and he should go off the pitch and we get a penalty. But again, there's no communication between the fourth official and himself and his colleagues on the side. So he's making decisions, and he's making decisions on his own, I think. And all he's worried about is the flags that are going up on the side. But in saying that, when that happens, people shout for a red card, but the incident would never happen because it happens after the one against Mubarak. But yes, we take control of the game in patches, which I think we can improve on. But we have a big shout in the end, whereby I think Motor makes two magic saves in the 95th minute. But he gets man of the match, and we go home with 1 point. I thought we should have gone home with 3 points.
Thank you, Coach. I'll start with the colleagues here. Please raise your hand and introduce yourself, and you can ask.
Coach, from Sithebe Sports Reports. The logo just came back and he got the emblem. One will be confused that maybe Chiefs, there's lack of leadership in terms of the field. Can you please clarify in terms of the captaincy and the club?
No, I think there's about 3 or 4 captains in the Chiefs camp, and Yusuf is one, Simango is another, Keegan is one, Itu is another, and Titi is one of them as well. So whoever's on the pitch, whoever they've picked as senior in the pecking order, he gets the captaincy. And unfortunately, all the other players are out, either ill, injured, or on the bench. And Titi is the one that has to take the responsibility. It's got nothing to do with he's just come back. Yes, why is he the captain? You know what I'm saying? That's not the cloth that you use.
Coach, are you encouraged though? I mean, you said AmaZulu goalkeeper very much was the man of the match. And then the last time we played, Richard Prato, also Mahmoud was the man of the match. Are you encouraged by that, you know, goalkeeper was opposite and other one who getting one against you guys? And also, what are the talks with regards to Sithebe? Because you know, to be rejuvenated in the last couple of games, because his contract was expired. So just your impression of him and what's the way forward going next season?
Yeah, I mean, it's the second goalkeeper who gets man of the match against us. I'm in one moment, you've got to say the goalkeepers are good, because they are players just like all other players within the 22 men that plays on the field. And if he happens to get man of the match, then so be it. But it has to be my team. If it's the opposition's goalkeeper, then I have got to get my team to make sure they're a lot calmer and a lot aggressive in putting the chances the way that we do get. And I thought we had clear chances where the goalkeeper really, I thought he made some changes. the way football goes.
Sithebe?
Sithebe? Yeah, Sithebe is doing well. As far as football is concerned, I think he spoke the other day in the newspapers where he said, we're not really worried about the contracts at the moment. What he's worried about is playing football, and he's getting the opportunity to play football. And you know, when you see people like that, then you appreciate what he does for himself as a human being, what he does for football as a human being, and what he's doing for football for Kaizer Chiefs. The contract issues and things like that, he knows what happens. It's either he stays or he goes, but what is he here for? He's here to play football. So that's what he's doing, and that's playing football. And we appreciate that very much from him.
Good evening, Coach. Smith from Independent Media. Coach, maybe just to follow up on Duke's question, you've played the midfield duo of Sithebe and Ox for, I think, 4 of the last 5 games, as opposed to maybe the regulars in Yusuf, in Edson as well. Is there any particular reason? Is there something that you're looking for with that duo specifically?
No, sir. I think we play a normal system, and when we put them together, for example, I know Yusuf was injured. Castillo just got back from the national team, so we kept him out. And the next best 2 were Ox and Sithebe together. So I think Ox and Yusuf played quite a few times. Ox played with Yusuf and with Castillo in the same team. And when they went together, they did well. So I don't say I have the thing whereby don't break it if it's not broken. So that's been happening at the team.
Coach, Angela from Kickoff. We saw Khune today, back on the bench. We didn't play today, but I saw that, especially when the game ended, he was one of the first ones out on the field talking to the players. How important is his experience in that dressing room, and how is his reintegration into the team been going?
Look, it's in the dressing room, it's always been positive. It has always given us positives in the dressing room, and the fact that he's been here for 2 decades is even more important, and he knows what he has to contribute. He's back on the bench now because we know that Brandon got a red card, so it was touch and go for him whether he was going to make it, and the gods of football gives him an opportunity to come on the bench in the last few games while Brandon is out, but then they have to fight again to see who goes second. But at the moment, Bruce is there as the number 1.
Okay, colleagues, just the last 4. We'll
4?
go to- Sorry, they like you here, Coach. We'll take Zahele after the lady, and then the last 2 that side. Oh, sorry. The last 3 you've asked.
Good evening, Coach. With only 2 games remaining for Kaizer Chiefs this season, how vital is it to keep that top 8 spot and probably move up as well? I mean, you are sitting at number 8 right now, and I know one of the objectives was to crack into the top 8. So how vital is it to maintain that spot and probably move up as well?
At the moment, like I said, week before last, it's about winning every game, and the top 8 is very important to the club. And you ask how vital? It is very vital. You have to take the next 2 games as cup finals, and we try to do that in the last 6 games, whereby every game we play is treated as a cup final. And you can see last week's game, this week's game, the game before. I don't think the club, the team is playing bad football. Our problem is we're not putting it in the back of the net.
Hi, Coach. Mr. Kelly from Mr. Is there some reason in which coach where coaches will be required to vote for your season? Who has impressed you this season?
I don't know, I didn't hear everything. What did you say?
He's asking about who has impressed you in the potential for player of the season in the PSL.
Oh, there's quite a few people. The number one that comes to mind is Sithebe, and the other one is Ron Williams. I mean, they've played in the African Football League. They came in CAF, and they've done very, very well. Do you want another one?
Give us another one, coach.
Hi, Coach. I'm the news from Kaizer FM. Coach, just want to have your thoughts on decision making in the final third today. Just your impressions on that. You did say obviously that some decisions went against you in terms of the officiating, but how would you assess your boys in the final third today?
Yeah, look, I thought we did not do what we do at training and finish. And like I said, if we were a little bit more clinical, then the score would have been our way. Didn't go today. We have to go back. We've got 2 more games left, and we've got to make it up for ourselves.
Hi, Coach. Sithebe. You've been with this team, or you've been in charge of this team, I think, since October, if I'm not mistaken. One would say probably you know A up to Z of the team. If you were to be maybe an advisor of someone as far as strengthening the team is concerned, which position would you pinpoint and say are the most important as far as strengthening the team ahead of the season is concerned?
I think you're asking personal questions. That's personal. The club is coming to an end. We are completing. And yes, if there was an advisor, then I will give him my advice on where I think the club needs to get better players. I think I will give him advice as to where the club has got good players and where the club is going to go in the future. But it's a major institution. And if Kevin Johnson has to say, then it's not true.
Just one final one, Coach, on behalf of the mothers, the Mother's Day. Not say anything else.
Coach, last one will be Glenn Kobane from Highway Radio. On your team, when it comes to managing a game, I've seen a couple of games, like the past games, you guys are leading, but you fall to manage that and winning the games, like conceding games, and then in other position terms, scoring or equalizing the game. How are you planning to do that in the last 2 games that you have? And since you said that you're looking forward to into finishing to the top 8. I mean the last team number 9, the Polokwane City that are going to play in your next game, they also want the same points as you. So how are you planning to do all of that in the last 2 games?
Yeah, it's been work in progress for the last few games, whereby we lead the team and we tend to give away soft goals in order for the players to come back at us. And when that happens, we're not aggressive enough, we're not calm enough in order to maintain our lead and go forward and score the goal that will seal the game. We allow, like today you saw, the goal that was scored is offside initially. There should be a free kick before the guy crosses the ball. But in saying that, we also switch off for 1.5 seconds and we give the guy 2 meters in order to cross the ball. So there's a lot of factors that you've got to work on, a lot of factors that you've got to show the team. But in saying that, when you go back and you see it as an offside goal, then that's not the reality of the football game. And that does not put a good taste in your mouth when you draw now and you don't win the game.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
In the next one.